Hello and welcome to another episode of the Roach Koach Podcast, the journey to create the new metal canon. My name is Lorin Kozlowski. With me, as always, the original Roach Rider, Mr. Matt Nas.
Keep it rolling, baby.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, back for another episode of Roach Koach, creating this new metal canon one album at a time. This week, it is all about who's tweeting.
Who's tweeting?
That's right. We're going over feedback. We're going over recommendations. We're going over so many things, emails, all of that good stuff. But to start it off, Matt, people, they're in the streets, they're in our DMs, and all they can talk about is the Roach Koach Patreon. They can't
Roach Koach Patreon.
enough of it. They can't get enough of it, Matt.
Who could?
Who could? We can barely get enough of it. Patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. You join up, you get a new episode of The Pact every month. That's right. This series continues on. Only gets hotter. Feedback incredible. People are telling their friends. More people are joining every day. Hope you join them. More fun stuff is coming down the line. We're already saying, like, okay, we're doing the pact.
Doing the pact.
What's next? What's next? Matt and I, we're brainstorming. We're thinking things up. And on top of that, Matt, you had the idea of ideas because you said, you know what? We've had a lot of great characters on this show over the years.
It's true.
A lot of characters beloved, who've taken over the zeitgeist, and characters like Prowler.
Yeah, baby, it's me.
Characters like Mortis.
Oh, leave Mortis. Let Mortis be Mortis.
That's right. Characters that Jenny had originated, like Midwest Mom.
The stick is lit.
That's right. But far and away, the most popular character on this show
at the moment,
I think for all time, Matt, I don't know how you found this one. I'm putting it out there, is 16-year-old cloud rapper and Blockbuster employee Charles Mansion.
Charles Mansion.
Charles, thank you for joining us.
Of course. Yeah.
I want to just say we're very excited that you will be joining us on the Roach Koach Patreon on Thursday, May 2nd.
Can't wait.
You're going to be on the live stream. I'm assuming you want to keep a little bit of a surprise, but I mean, you're cooking something up. You got new beats, new rhymes.
No, I have none of that for sure.
None of that. Oh,
but
okay.
what I think probably will happen is I will play some of my greatest hits.
Oh,
so I have 3 songs.
Okay.
Probably dust those off.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely going to dust those off. I mean, we're promising 30 minutes with some Charles Mansion.
Oh,
definitely some Charles Mansion.
Beautiful. I love it. That's fantastic. Roach Koach is expanding across the universe, and Patreon is just the beginning. Patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. Charles Mansion.
Yes. Now, I do want to be clear. For Patreon, because there's kind of like Patreon introduced the ability to join for free and also to be a patron. This live stream will be available to people who have just joined on the free tier and on the paid tier, but preferential question answering will be given to supporting patrons.
Got it. All right. Write that all down, everybody. If you've got to rewind the pod,
it's a real thing. It's like, I don't want to leave anybody out, but at the same time, show respect for our beautiful patrons.
That's right. Absolutely. Become one today at patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. All right. We're done plugging that, but definitely check it out. May 2nd. What time is it, Matt? 7 p.m. Eastern?
No, I said 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. You use the internet world clock to figure out where that works out for you, wherever you reside on planet Earth.
Matt. And we'll definitely, the final thing about that is no matter what, we'll have it recorded for replay, and that will be available through the Patreon. And then the other thing for members, as we go through this, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been able to record the episodes with audio, and the with audio, believe it or not, this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Could we? No, the actual music, right? But on YouTube, I always have to cut out the music. And last week's episode was POD, and Charles Manson was ripping and rapping and throughout that whole episode. I was just thinking, Lorin, sometimes we have some great banter on video, you know, but we can't put it on the YouTube. We have it in the podcast.
Right.
Why don't we put it down on the Patreon?
Exclusive vids only on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. What more do you need to join up? Join up today. Be cool. Join up. Matt.
Occasional exclusive.
Occasional exclusives. Matt, let's talk about it. Let's talk about exclusives.
Okay, buddy.
We got a DM from the boys over at Stepa. You may remember Stepa.
Sure do.
Some call them the Lost Kings of Nu Metal. They Blake, lead singer of Stepa, came on the show last year, walked us through every song off the Stepa's album. Incredible work. And they've kept in touch. They said, guys, we got a new album. We got new music. It's coming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to say that Stepa have given us the green light to give you a peek at new Stepa music.
World
premiere. No one's heard this thing. The Stepa parents haven't heard this thing. No one's heard it. And now you're going to hear it. The song is called Wish. Here we fucking go.
All right. So weird to play a whole song, but holy shit.
Woo, baby. The boys, they did it again.
Wow.
Let's run down the list, Matt. We got Chug.
We got scratches.
We got screams.
And we've got a big ass chorus.
Big ass chorus. Take your arms, stretch them out as far as you can. That's what you're going to need. Fit this big ass chorus. Fit your arms around it. All right. Got some great F bombs going on in here. New metal AF.
New metal AF. Holy bro. Wow. Incredible work. You know, when people send us songs every week and they're like, check out this song. And it's not even something that they, you know, made. You know, they're just like, hey, check out the song that I like, you know, and there's like a lot of caveats. And I got to tell you, sending the work that you have personally made to us, it's brave. But when you've got the quality here, I listened to this. Of course I previewed it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is so good. They did it. I can't wait to do it.
You know what? Love it. And I want to hear more.
I do want to hear more. I do remember in the show where we were talking about the new music, and I want to say that some of this started years ago. But I do remember
many moons.
Well, I do this, like, there are times I feel that, you know, what is it? The lyric that we just heard like a few times, like, hey, not wanting to be alive, not wanting to be around, not wanting to be here. I think this was during COVID times that some of this was recorded, if I remember properly. And it was like, yeah, sad time, guys.
But they turned it into something special. The boys in Stepa, the boys are back. I know he said touring's not really on the table. Everybody's getting a little older. Listen, all right? Get some HGH. Get out.
Hey, get that bottom ready because we're going to get some shots in there.
Listen, just watch the first half of The Wrestler, not the end of The Wrestler. But no, this was incredible. Great stuff. I'm excited. Stepa 2.0. They're going to be activating some pits. They're also going to be making you feel some stuff deep inside.
Yes.
Love some emotion. Love some feeling. All right.
Love emotions, love feelings, love what's going on here. Blake's vocals on this, brother.
He's singing and he's shredding.
He's screaming.
What can he do? What can't he do? Incredible stuff.
Good stuff.
More to come. Good stuff. Hot stuff. More to come. Blake said that more is on the way. So whet your appetite with that. I believe.
Now I'm going to throw a little curveball here.
Oh, you're going to curveball me.
So we came off one hot song. I heard another hot song today.
You heard another hot song today?
I heard another hot song today. Did you hear Poppy with Knocked Loose?
Matt, I sure fucking did. I listened to it on my way into work this morning, and let me tell you, it was like coffee. It got me up.
I had to check in because I didn't see the full list of topics for the show, and I had to make sure. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is a stiff one. This one's an assault on the ears.
Let me tell you, they Knocked Loose also back. Don't count them. Don't count them out. They will knock you out. They've already knocked you loose. They might knock you out. And with Poppy in tow, who's screaming?
Poppy's screaming. She's really screaming. She's leaning in.
She is, which just has me more excited for the next Poppy record. Which I feel like I was thinking about as listening to it, like the Poppy journey, you know, from
very interesting. Totally.
Yeah, from the, you know, the sort of anime, K-pop kind of sound into the new metal record. Then she kind of pivoted out of that for a little bit. Then With the Zig record, it's sort
Zig
of like
is kind of like a
half
could
and
I
half.
do both at the same time?
Mhm.
And then the answer was kind of,
Yeah.
but not really. Like you do sound like you're half in, half out.
Yeah.
Whereas
And
her with Knocked Loose, it's like, holy shit.
I listened to it and I said, Poppy, consider a whole album with Knock Loose? I don't know. Just something to
Could
consider.
an EP?
Maybe.
Oh,
Something.
That would be sweet.
That would be good. So so that's another hot one. A lot of hot tracks out there right now, man. And I gotta tell you, it's perfect because we're riding right into summer,
That's true.
and
you need some hot tracks for the car.
Gotta have hot tracks for the summer. All right. You gotta. All right. If you're driving around and you don't have any hot tracks,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? You might as well just pull your car over, get out, and walk away. Just keep walking.
We talked about it. Maybe we should play a few seconds of it.
Let's hear a little bit.
Okay. Let me get it pulled up.
Thanks for watching this episode of Roach Koach on YouTube. Unfortunately, we do not play the music here on YouTube because we want to avoid those sweet, sweet copyright strikes. But you can check out in the description. We have the links to the podcast itself, which includes all the clips from the music that we hear. And back to the show.
Oh, Matt. Oh, Jesus. It's quite intense.
This video is also
I haven't watched
intense.
I haven't watched the video yet. I will just say this is certainly aggressive, undoubtedly.
Poppy is living up to a river nymph motif where she's the queen of the river nymphs. It's got a very Blade Runner dream sequence look to it. There's a white horse. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. Well, there you go. Knocked Loose, new Knocked Loose record, Eminent, single with Poppy. I believe you should be sold at this point. Yeah. I don't think you need anything else. If you need anything else, you may need to consult a doctor.
If you came back and was like, I love the music of Knocked Loose, but his voice a little too high for me, I get that. I think that's a valid not for me complaint.
All right. Matt's giving you an out. I don't give you any outs. No
outs for Lorin.
No outs for me.
Pitching shutouts over there.
That's right.
All
Matt.
outs.
All outs. Matt, we normally don't talk about it on this show, but I felt that it was important that we talk a little bit about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Buddy, I'm ready to talk about this with you because your post about this was right to my heart. I felt your rage.
So I have never been one to care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Why exactly?
And I can say it feels even more irrelevant than the Grammys. And it's something that even when they would post the things online and they would have the show you could watch on HBO, I was just not interested. For one, it really struck me that there are artists that have been inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I obviously love and they were important to me growing up and everything like that. But Absolutely. You know what? I don't need to hear anyone do a speech about them. I just don't care. I just cannot be interested in that. And it seems that over the years, artists have more and more realized what a kind of bullshit situation it is, and that it doesn't really matter. And I really think the capper on that was that there was this big push to get Rage Against the Machine in, and when they got in, only Tom Morello showed up.
Yep,
and everybody else was like, "We're just gonna stay home. I don't care. I don't want to go to this." And so this year they were announcing the people that could possibly get in.
Right.
And there turned out to be a big push to get Foreigner in.
Yes.
And the push worked. Foreigner will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And when I saw this, I was like, Foreigner, I know a song. I looked up the singles and I saw what they were. And I said, if Foreigner's getting in, if Frampton's getting in, if Dave Matthews Band is getting in, doors are open.
Doors are open.
Anyone's in. And I said, now, Creed, Nickelback, Seether, Puddle of Mud, boys, dust off your suits. Get your shiny shoes. You're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's just what it is. There's nothing to stop you now because Foreigner's in. listen to some Foreigner songs. If you're not familiar, Google them up. Or you know what? You don't need to Google them up. Go to the grocery store. You're going to
Yep.
hear some Foreigner songs. All right. Go to CVS.
When's the last time you went to a bowling alley?
Oh, yeah. If you've been bowling lately, yeah. You've been doing some 7
if you haven't heard fucking Jukebox Hero at a bowling alley, are you alive?
Listen, if your friend hasn't jokingly sung a lyric from Cold as Ice, I don't think you're alive. At the same time, though, and I want to stress this because people are like, Lorin, Matt, you're naming songs we know, songs that have clearly endured, that we're hearing them still years.
I want to know what love is.
Exactly. But here's the key thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is that they suck. All right? I just want to stress that. I got to stress it. All right? And so, with that said, Creed, head on in, boys. Head on in.
Well, this is absolutely what the reactionary split of popular music became, because this is really that 70s into early 80s arena rock. Like, by the time that Foreigner gets to 80s, they are so like well, I think I said it best when I said it to you. It's like people who got to second base in high school really loved Foreigner. You know, like when you were when it was the 80s and it was like, it was a makeout party. It was like, well, I'm going to put on, I want to know what love is. And that's what's going to seal the deal. These are soft rock jams. Now, you might be like, but Matt, urgency. All right. Well, again, these are very mid-tempo. These are, I like rock and roll songs.
Matt, you had me at mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're mid. They're mid to bad. Listen, honestly, they're worse than bad. They're whatevs. They are fine. I guess so. They can hang out in the background. Listen, hanging out in the background? What? No, you just heard that Poppy song, that Knocked Loose song. You can't put that on in the background.
Yeah, but you ain't banging that with your lady. Like, that's the thing about Foreigner. Like,
well, you know what? I don't. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what I'm.
I know that's
not
what we're doing here.
Well, but here's the thing, though. This is, you and I are talking about stuff that didn't even go into play. Once again, this is just a situation of lobbyists and famous people all saying, "Why not? We know this guy. He gave me a fist bump one time. He's not so bad. He's my neighbor. You know, when he puts his leaves out in the fall, I put my bag of leaves out next to his, and we both say, a lot of leaves this fall. You know, except one of us, you know, played rhythm guitar, and I want to know what love is. You know, I mean, but these aren't the reasons. You know, this is just, now we're just watching a bunch of rich guy glad handing. This ain't what it's about, baby. This ain't what it's about.
But, and that's also like the retaliation of like metal at the time really felt kind of like, fuck this stadium rock, fuck Mr. Roboto, you know, fuck Foreigner. Like there definitely seemed to even be at that time a very reactionary piece to like, I don't want to hear yes. Can you please give me something that just is short and destroys?
Well, all I can say is that this one was just like, I saw that one and I was like, I didn't care before, and now I will truly never care again. Like, what do we? I mean, honestly, because there's no. What are we even talking about here? Like, it's got Rage Against the Machine and Foreigner and Nirvana. Like, what are we even doing here? It's just like a room with a bunch of shit in it. You know, you're digging around in here. I got some shoes in here. I got some Foreigner. Some fucking Rage Against the Machine. Oh, look, Nirvana's in here. Like, what are we talking about here? It just sounds like a messy closet. And you got to Marie Kondo that shit. That's what I got to say.
You know, when Kid Cudi gets into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, I'll make sure to call you.
Matt, I'm so mad at you even putting that out into the world.
Well, it'll be in 20 years. Don't you worry, baby.
Listen, if Kid Cudi gets inducted, I hope I'm dead first. All right? I'm just putting that out there. All right?
Well, we'll still be doing this show.
We'll still be doing this
We'll
show.
be doing it with Lorin AI and Matt AI.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So, yeah.
Keep
So
it rolling, baby.
keep it rolling. Yes. Matt, let's talk about who's recommending.
Who is recommending?
Chad Radical is all about recommendations on the show
Love
these days, and he's already got a list that we'll be talking about a little bit later. But he couldn't help himself, and he had to send us one. And you know, sometimes people send us stuff, you know, and I'm like, okay, maybe, but this was an impassioned send. He said, "You need is all caps to listen to the first 25 seconds of King of the Rats by Bodysnatcher."
All right. Bodysnatcher, King of the Rats. All right, I got it. Let's do it.
Taking me down. You're back no more. I would like a Biggie Fry and a Biggie Coke.
All right, that's going to be 754. Pull around to your
If
first
you defy the master, then you will become the servant.
Do you want to round up for Ronald?
This is Wendy's.
Matt,
Wow.
in fucking incredible.
Is everybody okay? Make sure you fucking sign in on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, whatever. Let us know you're okay.
Yeah,
King
after
of the Rats.
yeah, after King of the Rats, yeah,
I need a wellness check.
yeah, we're gonna do
Fucking
wellness check on all of our
everybody.
listeners. Yeah, just send us a little thing. Just leave us a mark. Just say like, "Yep, I'm okay. I'm all right." Holy guacamole, that was intense. That was intense, Matt. You know what? I don't have anything else to say except that was fucking intense. You know what? Perfect segue, Matt.
Perfect segue.
Into our next segment. Who's emailing?
Who is?
Matt, we got an email from JB.
We sure did. Comes in with new recommendation time. An email we most certainly are reading.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone recommended the Pennsylvania band Backstreet Law yet? Their 1998 album, Hockey Helmet, sounds like early Limp Bizkit and Disturbed had a baby together. The guy's been busy.
Mm.
The band is pretty obscure, but are still worth checking out someday. So I went Backstreet Law. Don't recognize that.
Don't.
Then I was like, wait a second. Hockey Helmet. Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh.
6 years ago, somebody recommended this to us.
Did we listen to it?
I don't think so, because I don't think we could find it.
Oh.
It might have been one of those things where somebody said, I think there was a band with an album called Hockey Helmet. But all of this feels like something. But again, a feeling isn't the truth. But it seems familiar. You want to hear some?
I want to hear some.
All right, here it is.
So, Matt, I did a little research while we listened to this song, which gave me, honestly, my vibe was Helmet meets Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
We did a song on one of the lists on the show when we did Gareth Davies' Top 10 New Metal Underdogs. He sent us the song Seatbelt.
Yes.
By Backstreet Law.
Yep.
Backstreet Law, Seatbelt, Hockey Helmet. Unusual things to wear seems to be what Backstreet Law is going for. I think I just called them Backseat Law. Don't write me. I'm very interested. I'm very interested. I want to hear more. This feels like something. Feels like
yes.
something.
Yeah, but I knew it was Hockey Helmet that got me. I didn't remember Backstreet Law.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw the cover and I was like, yep, I'll 1000% listen to some of this.
There you go. Well, JB, yes.
You did it. Good rec.
Good rec. Thank
Solid
you, JB.
rec.
Solid rec. Thank you, JB. Thank you for sending. Matt, should we long list these boys?
I think so.
All right.
If they're not there already, they need to be.
All right. Putting them on the long list. Up next, we got an email. This email is from Jason, and the subject is episode 232. And so I looked that up. Episode 232, for those who don't remember, was about the band Twin Method and their album, The Volume of Self. Dear RKP, I would like to thank you for episode 232 of your podcast. Someone made me aware of this episode, and I had a great time listening to it. It's been a long while since the band existed, and you almost forget what you sounded/looked like back then. It all just seemed...
Wait a minute.
Matt, hold on. It all just seemed normal at the time, although some of my students do like to remind me from time to time. I laughed a lot and was repeatedly hit in the brain with the nostalgia bat. Great stuff. I do wish I'd been in the room with you when going over it to add points or justify why terrible things were terrible, as it sounded like you were having lots of fun. It's not a conversation you have that often with people when you're out of the music industry, just a curio that comes up infrequently. Either way, we were not on many people's radar, so I really do appreciate you taking the time. Thanks, Jason, Harsh Vocals Guy. P.S. I noticed that you seem to take a liking to Logan Mader during the episode, and I still speak to him. I'll be sure to pass on your comments about his Wikipedia photo.
This was the first episode where we mentioned Logan Mader.
Matt, I went back and just went through this episode real quick, and indeed, we spend a solid 5 minutes losing our minds about Logan Mader's
because he's so handsome. He's just ripped.
Insanely ripped, insanely tatted, insanely shredded up. And we couldn't get enough of it. And let's be honest, Matt, we still can't get enough of it.
No.
To this day.
My cup runneth over.
Right. So I'm thrilled that Logan Mader possibly will be told about us losing our mind about his body and his body of work on an episode from 4 years ago. Jason, thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for listening. Much appreciated. And I like the someone made me aware. Our show just gets passed around, Matt. Just passed around in the dark alleys of the interweb. People are like, "Hey, these maniacs are talking about your album." Oh. They also spent 10 minutes talking about how hot Logan Mader is.
Morons.
Jason, thank you so much. Matt,
I have an email from John.
Yes, Matt.
Happy Easter, Roach Koach. Hi, Lorin and Matt. Just thought I'd say I've a pretty new metal year so far, as I've seen POD and Skindred live, and will be seeing Korn and Loathe in the summer. And that's not to mention, I went to a new metal night in Manchester for my birthday too. John! Wow. Love it. Living it up, man. So to sum it up, new metal is and has been back for a while. So for this Easter, my recommendation to y'all is a band called East West, and the song in question is called Breathe. Ooh, and then I think this is lyrics, I'm going to guess, or it's a wrap up that looks like a haiku. Yes. I hope your kids got plenty of Easter eggs and all that good stuff. They did. Rosemary had a great Easter. Peace to you, and keep on rolling, baby. Keep on rolling, baby. Love from John of the UK. P.S. Last episode was dope as hell. I appreciate that. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated. I believe that there is an East-West album on the long list. I'm checking now. Please hold.
Okay. And
there is an album. It's called The Light in Guinevere's Garden. And according to my color-coded list, I own a physical copy of it. What album is this? Is this a song from that album, Matt?
I believe it is. Let's check. I'm pulling that down. Yep. Wait a second. There's no way that this is correct. There's no way I have the right East-West.
There's more than one East-West? Wait, Matt, are you on compass.com? Don't use compass.com. That's not what we need. All right?
What do you mean?
That's going to send you in a couple different directions, but not the direction you need to go in, which is for a tune.
Interesting. Well, let me try it through the old YouTube. East, West, Breathe. All right. Let's see what we can find. Okay. This looks much more appropriate because I found Worship Extreme Devotion Music.
I don't think that's it. Maybe it could be
possible, but this one has a lion on it, and I'm gonna guess that that's the one. Let's find out together.
All right. Matt, if you've ever wondered what is the Kool-Aid Man listening to right before he goes through that wall, he's listening to East West.
I think so.
My Lord, what energy! But also with a little bit of a bibbity bobbity boop to it.
Little hip and hot.
A little bit of a
No wonder
bouncy.
this is an Easter recommendation.
That's right. You are going to be hopping around to this song, just like the Easter Bunny, as well as our Lord Jesus Christ. I think
Real big hip. He hopped off that cross.
he hopped off that cross and
not today.
he hopped off that cross and into our hearts. That's what I always say. Actually, I think he hopped into the grave, and then 3 days later he hopped out of it.
Hopped out.
And he said,
Hop
"Gabe,
in.
I'm back.
Hop.
I'm back.
I'm back, babies."
I'm back." And then he just started throwing eggs at people, and
then he gave us the Holy Spirit and said deuces.
Deuce, yeah. Well, first, and then people were like, "Breathe on me," and he's like, "Gotta go," and he was out of there. He was out of there. That's all in the Bible. Look it up, Bible.com.
What an accurate, biblically, scripturally correct retelling of the
I
ascension
think
of
so. I
Christ.
think so. I think we nailed it.
Take that, Sufjan Stevens.
This is you know what? So they're on the long list. I'm
Love
hearing this, and I'm like, you know what?
We need to boost
We need to boost this up. We need to give it the
Roach
Koach.
Bump
We need to bump it up. All right, so
We
there you
are
go.
morons.
Listen, man, we're just doing the best. You know what? As Jesus himself would say, God don't make no mistakes.
God don't make no mess.
Don't make no mess. Absolutely. And so yeah, listen, the show's still going. We're gonna do an East-West app.
And we're never stopping.
Never stopping. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Please
John,
join the Patreon so we can eat.
that's right. Please and thank you. John, thank you so much for the recommendation. Of course, happy Easter to you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Matt, we got to talk about who's reviewing us.
Who's reviewing us?
So recently I found my password to the Spotify account. Matt was very happy about that. A little behind the scenes, Matt would ask me sometimes, "Hey, can you see what people are saying on the Spotify?" And I say, "Well, I got to figure out my password." And Matt would get so mad, but Matt is so nice that he would keep it down. He would just bottle it up inside instead of enraging himself at me. So he was very happy, and he was able
Watch
to let
this
that
one. How's the Instagram password going, Lorin?
Oh, I got that. I'm in. Oh, you need it. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, I'll get that to you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll get you that.
I'm so red right now.
He's Matt. Okay, Matt took the anger from not knowing how to get into Spotify. He shifted it over to the fact that I haven't given him the Instagram password yet. It's okay, everybody. We're doing great over here, and we've got these reviews that are now coming in on Spotify. And what I found, Matt, is that Spotify was asking everyone after every episode, "What'd you think of the app?
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing? What'd you think of the app? Did you like it? You think it was good? You enjoy it? Got any feedback?" And every now and again, people will say something. And we got a nice little thing from Baba Yaga Radio, who said, "I did not know." It said this about episode 409, which was a Who's Tweeting episode, Axl Rose Rhythm Method. And they said, "I did not know beauty until I knew this episode."
That is higher praise than we deserve.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. So yes, so if you're a Spotify listener, you can go in and you can leave us responses, and then and I have the password now, so I can go and read them and text them to Matt and go, "Look at this nice thing someone says." Or also I can screen cap the things that mean people say, and I'll send them to Matt and go, "Look what this motherfucker said," and then I delete it.
Motherfucker's spitting.
Yeah, exactly.
Spitting venom at us.
Yeah, I know, right? And I know some people are like, "Lorin, Matt, no one would say anything mean to you," and you're right. And you're right. Matt, speaking of nice things that people said, we did an episode, a very special episode, all about Korn's Path of Totality. We posted it on the day of the Eclipse. Matt, did you get to experience anything with the Eclipse?
Rosemary got a stomach bug, so she was home during the Eclipse. We were able to kind of crack open the door. We had one set of glasses and we saw it. you were in the path of totality.
I was in it, Matt. And let me tell you, a truly surreal experience to see basically the entire neighborhood go dark like night at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to watch birds go, "What's happening? What's going on?" To hear the bugs go, "Are we up now? Are we on? Is this happening?"
Is this
And
us?
yeah, and I took a video, and I got to tell you, I was stone sober when this was going on. But you listen to me on this video, I sound high as a GD kite. I am going, whoa, whoa, cool, awesome. I am just taken aback by science and nature as it occurred in front of me.
Well, the thing that killed me is the shadows, right? The shadows through the trees that we had here.
Hmm.
Because I did not realize what was happening is the gaps in the trees acted like pinhole cameras. So that all the arcs were on the ground. So it just looked like this crazy, craggly.
Hmm.
I was like, whoa, what is happening?
It was an incredible moment.
Beautiful.
Really felt quite special. Glad to experience it. And it was very nice to know that we had put out a brand new episode the same day, so people could hear us talk while this happened, because I'm sure that's
Yes.
what everybody did.
Oh, yeah.
And
Synced it up.
synced it up, just like Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. So we got some feedback, Matt. To start, Gareth Davies, this is a great comment. He said, Buzz. I haven't thought about dubstep in about 15 years, but I don't hate this at all. It's actually a pretty good fit for Korn. Dubstep is basically the new metal of electronica. It's a weirdo niche corner of music that popped up, burned bright, got into everything, and they got chased off by an angry mob with flaming torches and pitchforks. I'm going to take it one step further. Before Skrillex, people were wubbing on dubbers with 6 steps, but Skrillex, 7. The signature sound made him an overnight sensation, and I hope he invested wisely during those boom years. I'd be very sad for him if he had to go back to his past life as a serial reality TV audition troll. He included a link to that. Also, can we just take a minute to reflect on the fact that Jenny is back, kind of, and that Unity TX just dropped a new single? There's never a bad time to be an RRFL, but these are the good times right here. Thank you, Gareth.
Love that.
Much appreciated. Listen, yeah, Jenny's not back, you know, she's popping in every now and again, but we're keeping you social heavy, okay? You know,
Got
had
to.
Mitch on last week. He's promised to come back to talk about another POD album, so we got that going for us. And you know what, Jenny will be back before you know it. She'll be back before you know it. And we're still here every week, keeping you safe and sound. Matt, what did Ernesto have to say?
Ernesto comes in and he says, Jonathan Davis knows you're an organ donor.
I'm glad that this is going to follow me forever. I much appreciate it. And I want to let everybody know that I found out recently that my license has been expired for months. And so I had to apply for a new license.
What?
Yeah, Matt, listen. I don't know how it happened. I was like, oh, my license is expired. How about that? And so I was applying for it, and they said, do you want to be an organ donor? And I immediately hesitated because I was like, wait, doesn't that mean someone could kill me?
It does instantly. That's
It does. If they've got the go ahead on your license, they will gut you right there in the street. Doesn't matter if you just fell down, scraped knee. You know, that's how I knew that Kid Cudi was an organ donor after he fell off the Coachella stage and broke his ankle or broke his foot or whatever. And then they showed him.
How high was he?
He was very high, but I think the key thing here is that why did he jump off the stage? There's no reason to do that.
And not the way that he did it.
He literally just fell off the stage. It was the dumbest thing that he's ever done, and he's Kid Cudi. So, yeah.
He made a rock and roll record.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Most Kid Cudi is unlistenable. Think about how unlistenable that is. So, anyway, Ernesto, thank you for the reminder of my of how I misspoke. And also, yes, I did sign up. I am an organ donor. I will be an organ donor on my new license. So that means our R.I.P.
See you
to me.
later.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the next life.
That's right. Absolutely. I'll be broadcasting from up above with old JC. Yeah, he was, some say he was the first organ donor. So, yeah. He donated his heart to all of us.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Ronnie Neely came in and he said, I'm going to drop a little bit of a little book on you, and we're going to read it. Korn was my favorite band from 2004 to 2006.
2 solid years.
2 solid years. I was huge into dubstep when this was announced. I knew all the producers on it. My shit claim to fame is I liked Skrillex on Facebook when he only had 200,000 likes. He's at 18 million now. Congratulations.
Wow.
All this to say, this record should have been something I loved, or at the very least, liked. When it came out, I listened once and never bothered with it again until this podcast episode. It's not a particularly good dubstep or Korn album. If you strip the wubs from this, the song still wouldn't be much to gush about. Okay. Also, the producers on this have way better stuff, which disappointed me too when this came out. Having said that, you guys made a great point that Korn seemed sincere in this experiment and did get first-class dubstep producers on board. Worth mentioning, Skrillex has stated the first Korn record was a huge inspiration to him, despite still not being in the canon. I hope that is true, that he literally said, this album was really important to me, even though it's not in Roach Koach's nu metal canon. I hope that's what he said.
Wouldn't that be the best?
That'd be amazing.
Like, Skrillex is aware of the nu metal canon.
I love it. I love the idea that Skrillex is like every Wednesday, he's just like, I'm on tour, playing these stadiums, got to share a bathroom with Fred again. But like, man, I got to get the new coach. I got to hear the new coach. Excellent. Great. Skrillex, shoot us a DM. We'd love to hear how you're doing. Spring Breakers, I love it. Also, John Devis DJ'd under the name J Devil, and I think I remember him playing dubstep before this record was announced, making Totality less surprising at the time. I'd never heard the bonus tracks, and I'm glad I did, because for better or worse, they're a lot more memorable than most of the proper record. This still isn't anything I see going back to, but I can appreciate it now for what it is, abandon a genre out of vogue, trying something new. Certainly sounds better than when Linkin Park shifted genres. Speaking of trying something new, anyone here have Godzilla's number? Ronnie, listen. I see what you're going for there, buddy. But listen, Godzilla, she'll crush you. She'll crush your heart.
End you. That kaiju can end you.
She will end you. All right. And you might be saying, oh, you mean on a physical level? No, I mean on an emotional level. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Godzilla is not, she doesn't stick around. Okay. She's loving
that claw gets in your beehole.
That's right. Yeah. She got what she came for, and she's gonna roll. Yep. That's all she wants. Sorry to speak ill of Godzilla, but thank you for writing in, Ronnie. Much appreciated.
Sorry to speak ill of Godzilla. Yep.
Matt, we got an interesting image from JD.
Yeah, it's an iPhone call screen that says incoming call, Jonathan Devis.
Love it. I love it. It's great. Joshua Toomey sent us a very interesting crayon drawing of, it looks like a what would be normally a turkey at Thanksgiving, except it's been drawn up in a purple Adidas tracksuit. Each of its feathers is a different Korn album cover, lovingly done in crayon. And it says, I am not a turkey. I am Jonathan Devis. Thank you, Josh, for that.
Oh, my gosh. Ev comes in with, I'll never forget hearing Korn on Beavis and Butthead.
Matt, I'm sorry, you read that wrong. They'll never forget hearing Korn on Beavis and Butthead. See what they're doing here? See what's happening? See what's happening? See what it's like? See what this feels like? See what this feels like?
How dare I?
I know, right?
How dare I? You're right. It's Beavis and Butthead.
Yep. Steven said, I've been calling him Jonathan Davies since they made a spelling mistake on a poster from Circus Magazine in the early 2000s. Jonathan Davies. I'm assuming this is when he was fronting the Kinks. Very good stuff there.
Trevor Reynolds comes in with, I totally forgot about this record, and to be honest, it's way better than I remember. I'm going to pop this in for a deep listen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
KRM said, my only exposure to this album was Taman.
I have a question about this.
Yeah, yes.
Is it KRM or is it Kareem?
I believe it's KRM.
Wow. Sorry,
I believe
KRM.
it is. I believe it's KRM. Listen, we're already on a roll for pronunciation, so
Jonathan Davis.
exactly. KRM said, my only exposure to this album was Taman from the K-pop group Shiny performing Get Up, LMAO, with a link. He also recommended the album while another member recommended the Despicable Me soundtrack. They both said their picks were good for exercising. I did watch this clip, and it is literally this K-pop star doing some very intense choreography to the song Get Up. At first, it seems like maybe they're playing it, but then they get into the wub section where it sounds like Jonathan Davis is having sex with Godzilla, and then you just realize that they're performing to a track. Still, these dance moves, all in. Very intense. If I were to attempt these dance moves, I would pull every muscle in my body. Every muscle in my body. It'd be
Hammies whammied.
That absolutely. Yeah. It'd be a mess. But thank you, Karen, for that. Over on Instagram, Matt.
Yeah, buddy. Number 6 knows coming in with around 41 minutes in. There's reference to a Korn interview as not their finest hour. This implies a finest hour for the band. I'm curious what that might have been. Issues premiere front to back live at the Apollo in 1999. Ooh. So this is truly the Apex Mountain Korn question. What's Korn's Apex Mountain?
If we're to follow what what would be their finest moment, which I think is different than their Apex Mountain, which is a thing that they talk about a lot on the Rewatchables podcast, which is never clearly defined on that show either.
No.
But I think it's a little different because Apex Mountain seems to be like the peak of a career. Well, we're talking about Korn's finest moment, where they did something, released something, performed something, and everyone went, this right here, their finest moment.
Okay.
I've thought a little bit about this.
Okay.
A little bit about this. And I do believe, for me, not saying this is the best, just this is the fine where I'm like, Korn, your finest moment. The first minute of Here to Stay. That's where I go. The crackle into the drop. In that moment,
Here to Stay is one of my favorite Korn songs.
I said at that moment, it's like Korn. They've established right then in that moment. They said here to stay. They are here to stay. Korn are still here. I'm seeing them this summer. We're going for Jenny's birthday. They're here to stay, and I say that's their finest moment. Matt, what do you think their finest moment is?
Look, I've seen it probably now 40 times. Every time I watch it, I wonder how everybody is still alive. But when the first minute of Blind at Woodstock 99 is, I don't know if I've ever seen it better from them. Like, it's crazy. If that's their finest moment, I don't think they could be too upset, because that is top tier. Apex Mountain, I would say, probably comes right around Untouchables. Like, I don't think they really will ever get that ascendant again.
No, they'll never have that budget again. No, that's for sure.
No way. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for this thoughtful question. Much appreciated.
Love that.
Yeah. Treed Sign says, although I was disappointed when Jonathan Davis left after Korn's 9th album, I do think the new guy, Jonathan Davis, does a pretty solid job here on album 10.
Love that.
Oh boy. Okay.
Haha, gotcha. That's a got him for you, Lord.
It is a got him. I'm just getting got hims all over this episode.
Garbage stock art comes in. Glad we're done with the headless era. I think Korn plus Dubstep could have worked, but this album suffers from a lack of crushers.
And Smoking Umbrellas says, used to listen to this when I was at work in warehouses. I can't say it's great, but it does hold a place in my heart, and I like that at album 10 they were still willing to try things.
I think that's where we landed too.
Yeah, I mean, didn't get in the canon, but we're like, listen, Korn, not resting on their laurels, not giving up. They're still out there and they're still doing it. And let me tell you, having those albums that remind you of that era when you were in the warehouse doing the work, those are going to stick with you forever. And if this is one for you, I love it. Matt, did you ever, I know, you did your time in the, in the record stores, what have you, but, did you ever have like some time where you were just like in the stock room, whatever, and you just had like the record that you were just hearing all the time you had playing?
You will never believe this, but in college, I worked at Sam's Club. And for some reason that I still do not understand, the shift manager scheduled me morning shift Saturday and Sunday at Sam's Club. So I'd have to get there at like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. And I had the center section. So that's like all the bric-a-brac and bullshit. So not groceries, not electronics, like all the soft goods, mainly clothes. And on the other side with the boombox cranked high, what album was playing in 1999? In particular, June-ish 1999.
Matt, was it
early 2000?
Was this Supernatural by Santana?
Although I definitely heard Smooth quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
I heard Significant Other
all
the time.
Wow.
And at that time, I was like, I fucking hate this.
Oh, Matt, you didn't know how good you had it, buddy?
You know how good I had it.
You didn't know.
All I did know is that I didn't smoke, but anytime anybody would go for a smoke break, I went with them. Like, get me the fuck out of here.
I remember.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me finish. When I quit that job, so I got that job because when I went to Western, I worked at a baby store, and the manager knew the manager of the Sam's Club. So it was basically like, hey, this guy's coming out. Can you give him a job? And it was like, yes. So make connections. But then when I left the job, the guy on my exit interview was like, so, how'd it go for you here? And I was like, not great. He's like, what? You don't like it here? I was like, no.
They exit interview you at Sam's Club?
Yeah, he was shocked that I was leaving and that I didn't like it. No, it was not a thumbs up. It was a thumbs down. Yeah, so I don't know what to say, but he was taken aback. I think he took it personally. Like, I didn't have a problem with this guy. It was just like, it was a fucking, I worked in the center section. I would fold where all the clothes are on pallets. So if you've ever been to Costco or Sam's Club, it's all the same. The center is chaos. You could spend 4 hours getting the pallets back together, and in 2 minutes, 50 people would come in and they'd tear them apart. It was a Sisyphusian task.
Matt, I am very concerned that tonight you're going to have a dream about this. It seems very fresh.
I can almost guarantee it.
Oh boy. I will say that when I worked at Target and I was in charge of the front lanes, I had no illusions that every single teenager that worked for me hated the place with a passion. Insane. I can say that when I was in college and I worked for the college housing department and I was going around with my headphones doing linen counts, I was listening to local H's Here Comes the Zoo all the time. That's a record I love, but I will always associate with that time period.
With laundry,
with dark stock rooms where I had to put linens and count them. So thank you so much, everybody who left us feedback on the app. Keep on saying hello to us. on Facebook, on Instagram, sending those DMs. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. Matt, there's only one way to close out an episode of Roach Koach, and it's with a list. And this time, we've got Chad Radical's Rippers for Roaches.
Rippers for Roaches.
Matt, what do we got
Last
this
week?
Oh, yes.
Last week we played Sour by Hemlock. And let me tell you, many people had things to say about that song, but about the band Hemlock too. Not going to go into this episode, but a crazy read that I very much enjoyed. But today,
Yes,
I bring you Psycore as the band with their song Medication. Oh, Lorin, your face said, "Oh, this isn't for me."
is this really for anyone, Matt? Is it?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. This was an experience of sound,
Mm-hmm.
experience a little bit of drama.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly though seemed ill-conceived. I don't know if it was the voice that said give me my medicine that felt off, but it felt off to me. Felt off kilter. Perhaps but intentionally, but did not work for me. Matt, did it work for you?
You know, I will say that I probably wouldn't go out of my way to listen to this album. So this is from the album Your Problems from 1998, and it feels very much of the time. This is this is a dash of Primus, a dash of our good friend Rob Zombie, and just a whisper of Ministry underneath it. So it definitely has that like Gonzo feel to it. Like it does feel like
Honestly,
the cannons, they are loose.
yeah, it has also honestly a little bit of Gonzo from the Muppet Show energy too. It just has it has a little bit of Mike Patton, Faith No More energy. Honestly, too many energies.
Maybe
many
Mike
energies.
Patton, Mr. Bungle energy.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. Yeah, too many energies. Too many energies altogether there. It's creating I think they're going for a cosmic gumbo, but I'm getting more of an interstellar slop. That is where I am with that one. But I appreciate the rec.
Let me just tell you that if I
keep-
plug in my original PlayStation
Uh-huh.
and I load up a fighting game and this is playing in the background, or maybe like Twisted Metal,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like, this works.
Oh,
This
this
works.
is perfect for Twisted Metal. Perfect for Twisted Metal. Yeah, a game that I think back on it fondly. You know,
Mhm.
I think Twisted Metal, that was a
But
game.
the learning curve on Twisted Metal was like, I'm the best. That I fucking suck so bad at this game. It's like I'm amazing. I'm the okay. Well, there's
If my memory serves, Twisted Metal is one of those games where there was like two vehicles that were like pretty easy to master, pretty easy to figure out, and then there were a bunch of other ones where you were just like, if I keep playing as this guy, I'm going to break this controller in half, and I
in
will not
half.
pay you back for you. I will not pay you back because I'll be super mad. But you know what? That's gaming for you. All our gamers are listening right now. They're like, "That's gaming, baby.
That's gaming, baby.
That's gaming, baby." You get a little mad. You get a little mad. You whip the. Listen, if you are playing a game and whipping the controller across the room and going, "Fuck this," then have you really gamed? Have you really gamed?
No.
No.
Do you even game, bro?
Do you? Do you? Man,
that was Roach Koach Gaming.
that's Roach Koach Gaming. The new segment. We talk about games and how we don't like them. And that does bring us to the end of another episode of Roach Koach, the new metal podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Keep on sending us. Yeah. Keep
the new metal. Kinda.
Yeah, sure. Keep on saying hello to us online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're on all of those. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. Join up on the Patreon, patreon.com/roachcoachpodcast. Live streams, exclusive episodes, exclusive videos, and more. Inclusive videos, all kinds of videos, all over the place on the Patreon. Join today. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lorin, thank you.
Roach Riders and Indigo Angels. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Roach Koach
Podcast.
Hot all day, every day. It's the Roach Koach
Podcast.
all day, every day.